President Bola Tinubu announced that Nigerian motorists can now purchase petrol for 1,000 naira per litre, while the alternative, a standard cubic meter of compressed natural gas (CNG), is available for 200 naira. This statement came during a meeting with executives from the Nigerian Independent Petroleum Company Limited. Company, that's NIPCO, led by Director Ramesh Kasangria at the State House in Abuja. And Tinubu got to emphasize the benefits of transitioning to CNG, highlighting it as a cleaner and a more affordable fuel option that could reduce fuel costs at this time for consumers, and will also get to lessen the nation's carbon footprints. And he got to commend the NIPCO's support for the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative and all of that. But let's go back to the President's statement about, fuel is now 1,000 naira per litre, but for CNG it's 200 naira. So drivers, you decide which one you want. But then you're a driver and you drive in Nigeria. Fuel being 1,000 naira, is it something that should be celebrated?
It shouldn't be at all. I looked at this news, and the moment I got this news headline, I sent it to one of my friends. Because my friend told me that this is just on a lighter mode, not officially. My friend told me that it is possible that somewhere in the presidency, somebody has a personal interest in the CNG thing and would float it, and that the fuel price is going to keep increasing until Nigerians will eventually transit to the use of CNG. But that is good news.
What is good news?
If the federal government talks about the use of CNG, that's the compressed natural gas, in place of petrol,
fuel.
It's good news, because two things. It is going to aid the fight against climate change. It is in compliance with the Sustainable Development Goals. It means that Nigeria is probably looking at a fuel-less society in the near 10 years or 2 decades, 20 years. And if it is something we feel we can do, then we should start doing it now. If you want people to transition to the use of compressed natural gas, then you need to ensure that there are provisions for people to get their cars converted from the petrol system to the CNG.
Yes, they have been calling for Nigerians to convert
so
the vehicles.
That is something that, if we want to achieve, is laudable, is achievable, and it is good, because it will not only fight the whole issue of climate change, it will reduce this hydrocarbon pollution and all of these things. It will do a lot of good for Nigerians. It will also go ahead to, of course, make you purchase CNG at a cheaper rate. I do hope that it's not a trap. Nigeria has taught me to be very, you have to be very ready for anything.
They have trust issues.
Nigeria has made a lot of Nigerians to have trust issues, because when you now eventually transition into the use of CNG, then the next thing, boom, CNG price will go to a price that you can't imagine.
Well, talking about the federal government probably being involved in the increase in the fuel price, remember that the FGS told us that they have nothing to do with the increase in fuel price. And it is not in their place to increase or reduce. According to them, it is based on the market forces.
The man who is caught in a crime, even those who are caught red-handed do not accept they committed a crime. They still tell you that they are entitled to trial.
Even when you're listening to your voice notes,
they tell you that
it's doctor, it's not your voice.
It's not my voice. And they still have to go to the extent of saying, I must be tried. After all, the Nigerian system says anybody who must be condemned must first go through trial. So I have a right to trial, a trial process that they can also influence and jeopardize. So at the end of the day, yes, it is very correct. There are market forces that determine the price of this and that, not the federal government. But these market forces are influenced. These market forces are influenced. When they say NNPC, who put the NNPC chairman there? Somebody put him there. Somebody can call him on the phone and influence him. So obviously, who made the decision? Oh, it was Mr. NNPC chairman that said it during his announcement. CBN chairman made the announcement of increments in this, but somebody influenced that process. So of course, well, are we going to deceive ourselves?
And then if we look at what the Labour Party chairman said earlier concerning his conversation with the president during the whole minimum wage talks, then when he said the president invited them in, and during the conversation the president asked them, since you're asking for 650,000 naira, and then it reduced to 250, since you're asking for 250,000 naira for minimum wage, should we increase the fuel price and pay you 250,000 naira?
So you heard that very clear. Should we increase the fuel price?
That was the question. According to him, according to the Labour Party, not the Labour Party chairman. Now, Labour chairman.
Labour chairman.
I don't know why I keep mixing that up. According to the Labour chairman, where he said that. Now you wonder if the president asks that question, and then the FG comes out to say, "Oh, we're not the ones who get to increase fuel price or not." It's contradicting.
It simply states that the FG has the capacity to influence. The FG is the FG. The final decision making for the country happens with the FG. So the FG influences things. They may not directly be in charge of a process, but they influence a process.
All right. So back to the story, talking about the petrol being 1,000 naira now, and then CNG at 200 naira. We'll get to find out how this gets to play out, and also get to find out which of the states petrol is being sold for 1,000 naira. Because last I checked, I think I asked you that yesterday, how much you got to fuel, and you said 1,300.
They're selling for 1,000. So I'm wondering where the 1,000 naira is coming
But you know, it's different. The prices are different in different states.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even if the FG is able to influence 1,000 naira for the sale of petrol, it will only end up with the NNPC fuel stations. It will not cascade down to all.
How do you see Nigerians embracing the CNG initiative?
New ideas may always struggle to kickstart, but if it is laudable, if it is good for the people, then no matter how we struggle, we'll get used to it. You know, we struggled. We raised fuel from... Fuel was 65 naira. It went to 85 naira. We shouted, we still coped. Fuel went to 100 and something naira. It was 97 naira. It went to 100 and something naira. It is now at 1,400, 500 in some places, in some states. Nigerians are still going to cope at the end of the day. So if you bring in CNG, people may fight it from the beginning, but it's still going to work out if the government is ready to implement the use of CNG. So I feel, though it may take some time, but Nigerians will get used to it.
People are already converting their vehicles to CNG.
Exactly, that's what the government is meant to do.
Doing that.
Not to have one designated spot. In every state, there should be at least 10 to 20 places where you can go convert your car. And this should be free of charge. It's a transitioning process. The government is to make it free of charge. You go there, convert your car to CNG, and ensure that you have this available to your use. So I think it's something that can work out if we really want to make it work out, because I know that this is going to cut, it's going to cut a lot of businesses. You know, people that make money from this whole fuel news, they will fight. People that make money from the sales of generator and all of these things, the use of fuel goes around to not just cars, but generator, to this, to that, they will fight. But if it is what should be done, then go ahead. I used to tell school owners when I meet with them, parents do not know the best for their children. That's why they sent them to school. The school is expected to know what the children needs at a particular stage of life. And so the parents are relying on you to give their children what they need. So the government has been put into power because we feel that all of us cannot sit in the same house shouting on what should be implemented. Because if you keep 10,000 persons in one room, you will have 10,000 different opinions. And before you start getting to harness one opinion, you will spend 10 years, perhaps, trying to get one opinion. So we selected a few persons and said, go represent us. We trust you to represent our best interests, and that's why we're sending you there. So the government should look at themselves as messengers of the people who are supposed to represent the best interests of the people. If you feel the CNG is the best, in the best interest of Nigerians, then by all means, push it.